Hey there, how are you? I'm Abby from Eat, Work, Play, Balanced, and I just wanted to touch base with you today about the diet voice and how complex it actually can be for us. So I have a couple tips and thoughts and suggestions to share with you, but always reach out to me via email or whatever if you have any further questions or want to know something that's specific to you. I'm happy to help. So first we have, let me just set my mug down, we have three different voices. You have the diet trap or yo-yo diet voice or binge voice, the voice that is the quote-unquote bad voice, okay? So picture the bad voice, then we've got the good voice or the healthy voice, the one that tells us the right thing to do or the one that says all the shoulds and should nots. And the one that says you're good if you eat this, and you're good if you get that extra hour of sleep or whatever, okay? We've got that good voice, and this is just saying that kind of snidely, like good voice and bad voice, okay? The one that says go ahead and eat that, you'll start over tomorrow, or your voice that feels guilty when you eat something you shouldn't eat, according to the good voice, right? And these two voices are constantly battling when you're in the thick of the diet cycle, when you're binging, when you're restricting and think you're doing good, or binging and feeling guilt and shame and whatever associated with that, okay? So we've got that bad diet voice, and we've got that good diet voice. And then you've got that third voice, you, the true, inner, authentic you. Okay? And when you want to find balance with food and get out of that overwhelm and constant chatter between the good and bad voices, you have to start to tune in to you, that innate, natural, intuitive voice, instinctual voice that we all have. Think about one of your friends or relatives that is just a normal intuitive eater, someone that you're like, how do they stay fit and healthy, but they have that cookie or they drink that extra glass of wine once in a while? That person is most likely really in tune, whether they know it or not, to just their natural innate voice. They don't have that chatter, probably, most likely they don't, right? Or maybe they did at one point and they've moved on from it. So anyway, what you want to do is center in on that voice that is you. And you can do this by starting to check in with yourself. Check in with yourself. How am I really feeling right now? What do I really need right now? Am I hungry? Is this food even good? How do I feel when I got up from the table and walked away from my plate of food? Am I still hungry? Am I feeling satisfied? And I know these questions, it can sound like a lot, and it can sound like even more chatter than these good and bad voices talking back and forth. But to intentionally decrease and eventually get rid of these two voices that aren't necessary, that cause stress and anxiety and binging, to get rid of them, you have to be checking in with yourself, purposefully checking in with yourself. That's the only way you can hear what is really truly happening and then make decisions based off of that. And if you don't want to ask yourself a ton of questions and check in all the time, I get that. So maybe you just want to have one key question or check-in phrase that you use. For me, when I was getting over this up and down cycle, it was, how do I want to feel and how do I feel right now? It was all about feeling. And most of the time it was, I want to feel energized and light and happy. And so were the decisions I was making in that moment or going to help me feel that way? And you'll find that the more you kind of interrupt these outside chatters and questions or whatever, the less likely you are to be driven by them and be in this chaos, and the more likely you are to find that intuitive, natural voice. So I hope that's helpful. Determine what your three voices are, what's on this side and what's on this side, and then start to recognize and listen to you, the true you, okay? That's all I have for you this morning. Check out my Finding Balance program if you want more distinct and helpful guidance and purposeful guidance to get you out of the balance or the diet cycle and into balance with food while still staying fit and loving and enjoying life and being present and all of that good stuff. Thanks so much. Bye.